Podcast, episode number 179 for June the 9th, 2023. My name is Fraser. I'm joined on my left by Neil.
Hello.
Dave is not with us. He has, if you follow the podcast, you obviously know he has house stuff, I think. Or do you know? I don't know. Did we get an update on that? Anyway, he's not here.
Nice.
Before we get sidetracked into a massive conversation, let's introduce. We have a guest. On my right is the wonderful Matt.
Oh my
The
god,
real
you actually used
Matt.
my name. Yeah, not this fake Matt nonsense. Hi, how you doing?
I'm all right.
Good.
So now, so Matt, you have been on the show with us before. Some people may know you as Arnie. We call you Arnie when we're gaming, right? Because we have another Matt, although he's fake Matt. Anyway,
His name's not Matt.
Yeah, that
His
came
name's
to
not-
light this week. Yeah.
yeah. So this Matt, who's with us now, his gaming name is Arnie Army, but we call him Arnie because we couldn't call him Matt because we have a Matt, and then everyone just found out today that Matt's real name is Peter. It's great.
Not everyone found that out today.
Oh, I knew that already.
Some of us knew that already.
Yeah.
It's the fact that when
you knew that already, Arnie.
Yeah, I knew that. I found out probably about a year ago,
Oh,
and
it
I was absolutely
Jay who-
gobsmacked. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Jay. Yeah,
Jay, who just found out this week that he was astounded, to say the least. Amazing.
the
That's how
fact that when I met you guys and I said, "Oh, my name's Matt," and you went, "Oh no, we can't call you Matt. There's a Matt already." And 2 years later, I'm the only person who gets called by their gamer tag in the whole server, taken and stolen away from us, bloody Peter. Absolute fraud.
Yeah, well, so we do know your name is called Matt at least.
Yeah.
That's the start, right?
Mm.
Anyway, thank you for joining us. It's good to see you,
No, thank you for having me.
and you're more than welcome, mate.
Can we just say a big thank you to Blake Sev, who's just subbed with Prime.
Oh, nice.
You
Thank
always
you very
love
much.
a sub, don't you? I'm
Oh,
surprised
I
you weren't
do.
all over that straight away.
Well, I think if we play our cards right, we could double our. I'm looking for like every anyone in sales, we have to look year on year growth, and I think if we play our cards right, we go for 100% growth, we could have $8 profit next year. I reckon that's.
Oh, well, you say that. If you time it right, we may actually have a lot more profit than that. Just
Yeah,
depends when we
actually,
get payouts.
that's. Yeah, I'm doing my professionally. Like everyone should not hire me for that statement because. Our $4 growth, our $4 profit was once all costs were taken out. So actually, we don't need to.
That's how
we
a
don't
profit
need-
is, isn't it? Once all
We
your
don't-
costs
we
are
don't-
taken out.
Yeah, we'd only need to get another $4 to double our profit, right? As long as our
Right.
costs don't go up.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm with you now, I think.
It's revenue. That's what we need to increase is revenue. Anyway, thanks for joining us, everyone. Sorry for the nonsense, as usual.
You should say that all the way through the show.
Yeah, it's taken 179 episodes to apologize.
What for all the nonsense?
Yes.
Oh, lovely.
We
Yeah,
are
better
actually
late than
tagged
never.
with one of the tags on our Twitch stream is actually nonsense. Is one of the tags, your manual tags that you can add to your stream. And one of them is nonsense, as well as
Did we-
podcast and English.
English nonsense. Right. So, I was panicking about the time, but actually, we're probably going to be short because we have a big chunk missing now, don't we? For
Yeah,
a
there's
few
no footy,
weeks?
is there?
No.
No footy. Well, there is footy.
Well, there
Yeah.
is footy. There's Champions League final tomorrow.
Yeah, there's a big game tomorrow. And
Who's in
the Hammers, the Irons, did the Bizzo in the midweek.
Mm.
So give
What
Declan
did-
Rice a good send off when he joins another club.
Was that a final?
It was.
It was.
That's what
yeah.
happens when you win something usually.
I don't know.
Usually in
You
a
just said
final.
they did. You just said they did the business. You
Well,
didn't
they
say
were in a
won.
final. We have to talk about it before, but
Oh, I don't know. I don't listen to what we talk about.
Last
Who's
minute
in-
scorcher by Bowen, wasn't it?
yes, it was an interesting game, shall we say that? There was projectiles being thrown from the crowd.
Where
which
was it?
It was in
Is in
Prague?
Prague. Mm.
yeah, it's a very small stadium, but
It was
for a final,
against Florentina, wasn't it? The final.
Fiorentina,
say so.
Fiorentina.
Yeah.
Fiorentina. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Fiorentina or Florence, if you want to say it in English, I guess.
All right.
That's where my mum and dad went on their honeymoon.
Oh yeah,
I've never been,
great. I went. a few
and
years
obviously
ago. It's
I didn't
very
go there when they went. Obviously,
You were
Just a
you were
glimpse in my dad's eye.
you were just a couple of cells in his ball sack, weren't you?
Well, hopefully,
You know,
considering
you know
how
to
long
paint a
it was
word
between
picture.
then and when I was born, those cells in his ball sack when they went to Florence probably weren't there
Oh,
when
okay.
I was created, if you like.
Spawned. You
That's a
mean?
particularly gross thought to be starting the show with. So,
Out of all
What?
those millions of opportunities, they got you.
don't worry.
Awesome. Your little miracle. All right.
That's what I call mine
so
anyway.
Who's it? I heard a great one yesterday. Guy said, "I'm hung like a light switch." I thought it was good.
Do you have our light switches probably look different to yours, I guess, because ours are like flat anyway. Like,
Oh,
in
yeah,
fact,
they
I
have
just tell
those, yeah.
Google to turn my lights on. So is that how it works?
Yeah, I guess no light switch.
That is the modern era, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Same thing.
So who's in the Champions League final tomorrow?
Manchester City and
Go on now.
Come on. You started talking down to me like I should know.
Inter Milan or Inter.
Are you
That's
sure?
it. They're not called. They don't like to be called Inter Milan. They're Inter.
Why?
Internazionale, or whatever it is.
They don't want the Milan.
No, because
bit there.
Milan is AC Milan. That's Milan. Inter is Inter.
Okay. Good. Well, very exciting. If you're,
But
a
they
Man
both
City
play in the
fan.
same stadium, so obviously they're both in Milan. So.
Yeah. All right. Any more football? Or should we just crack on?
Obviously, things are moving. You know, I'm just saying, keep an eye on things. Players are changing clubs. Players that, well, I'm started. I've got a list of players already for next season on my list. List of
like
players
who?
that I'm not telling you.
Dude, don't be like that.
What? I'm going for it next year. I put it in the Discord. I'm going to top 250k in the whole thing next year. I'm going for.
Okay. Good luck with that.
Isn't
That's
there
only
250,000 players?
You gotta
there's
aim
something
high.
like 12 million. So you know,
Oh, right.
that's pretty good percentage wise. I was in the top million just this year, so I think it's achievable without being.
Anything's
I've been,
achievable.
Well, yeah. If I aim
You're
for
current
top
reigning.
250, but
You're reigning champion.
well, if I get top 250 next year, I'll be champion again next year probably. Lewis is
Probably.
giving it the big one though in the Discord.
Fuck that guy.
There is another football-related thing as well. There are loads of people going to Al Ittihad, isn't there? In Saudi.
Anyone who's over 30 is basically prime for a move to Saudi Arabia nowadays, apparently.
Why are they doing some sort of big, huge league thing going now?
Well, they've sold
really?
like 2 players, basically.
Well,
okay.
they've already signed Karim Benzema, and it looks like they're going to sign N'Golo Kante as well.
I thought that was a done deal, to be fair. The Kante one was done, I think. Ronaldo went obviously
86 million quid a year.
Yeah,
that's not the transfer fee. That's his yearly salary.
That's his wages.
Ugh.
Grace, how could you say no to that, though? How could you say no? Only Declan Rice could say no to that.
And I think the last thing with football is Messi going to
Another
Inter, but Inter Miami.
Did they say what he's getting paid there?
I think he's probably
I
getting
haven't
paid.
seen
He
it.
would have got more if he went to Saudi. There's no doubt about that. But he turned down Saudi and said, "No, I'm not going there." Because there's
Is it Saudi?
yeah, and he's got like a £9 million mansion right next to the beach in Miami. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Why
Where would you rather live?
I mean, you've got that much money. Why would you go stick yourself in the middle of the desert? Just go enjoy yourself.
Saudi
in the
Arabia's got a
States, right?
beach, you know.
Still Saudi Arabia.
And they
I
are
think they're
building
still,
the most dystopic looking fucking brand new city on the whole planet.
If you were already, he's got to be a billionaire, right? He's got to be close.
I don't know about a billion, but yeah, he's doing all right.
He's got to be close. So
he's got. Oh, I don't know if he's. Do footballers really earn billions? I don't think they earn billions.
The
they
big
earn a lot
ones
of millions.
Ronaldo. I think the Messis and the Ronaldos are up around the 800 million total career earnings or something.
Oh.
800 million, right? You never need to worry about anything ever again. There's more money than you'll ever know what to do with.
When you say anything ever again, you know, there's probably things you could potentially get concerned about.
Semantics, right?
Like the general end of the world that appears to be occurring in North America. But
I should never have given up smoking. There's no point. Apparently, I'm inhaling a pack of cigarettes every minute just by being here.
nice. Get that aircon.
No, it's not warm enough. It's very well, bizarrely with all these fires.
It's only warm in the forests.
If you had that much money, wouldn't you rather go live in Miami? Yeah, like he's got the place down there. I'd rather be in the States.
This is Miami, though, isn't it? It's full of nutters, isn't it?
I guess.
It's everywhere he goes full of nutters, though, isn't it? He's got a.
Yeah, we've
rear
got a
their
fair
up your
few.
head eventually.
We've got a fair few here.
In this server right now.
He's not wrong. All right, let's move on to listener stuff then. The Tim Reaper. I was going to say Tim the Reaper, but it's the Tim Reaper.
Yeah, get it right.
Says, I did get it right. Says, what's everyone's holiday plans this year? Anything exciting? It's a very apt question, Mr. the Tim
Are you going on
Reaper.
holiday?
Well, I am going on holiday in a couple of weeks. I'm going to be coming over to Blighty.
Oh, you're not going anywhere nice then.
I am going somewhere
Excuse me?
very nice. It just so happens we're going to be coming over to see some of the seals and joining Matt for a special day. He's getting married.
I am getting married, yeah. It's come
Yeah.
around that, hasn't it?
It's coming around fast.
2
Right.
weeks tomorrow.
You had your
Nice.
suit fitted and all that. Yeah.
No, I thought I'd just wing it to the day before. I'm a normal I'm a normal shaped and sized bloke. I'm not a giant or anything. I was just going to leave it to chance.
Just pick that one up from Next on the way.
Yeah. No, that's all sorted. Yeah, it's all sorted.
Excited, of course.
Yes, absolutely.
Nervous.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But not from. I'm really excited to marry her. That's not what I'm nervous about. I can't really put my finger on what the nerves is for.
It's a big day.
Sometimes, yeah,
like-
I think that's what it is.
You've got to
It's like
speak
when-
in front
like-
of all those people and not say no.
So it's weird that you say that. May's a couple of weeks ago, she had a dream. She woke up and she poked me, and I was like, oh, "You're right." I just had a really horrible dream. I was like, "Oh, what was it?" She went, "We're standing up in front of all of our friends and family, and when they asked you if you do, you went, nah, and just walked off." And she went, I just wanted to make sure you still want to marry me, and I just started laughing. I didn't mean to. Obviously, she was feeling a bit sensitive after a pretty shitty dream, but no, she's beautiful. She's a brilliant woman, and I can't wait. I really can't. I feel like I've won
bless.
the lottery on that one.
Yep.
He's punching.
Good stuff.
Massively punching.
Yep. Oh, hang on a second. Okay, talk about your wedding for 2 seconds. I just have to go put a lasagna in the oven.
Oh my god. Are we recording a podcast here? What the fuck? Right, anyway. So we're heading to the Garden of England, is that right? That's what
The
they call
garden,
it now?
well, yeah. So the Garden of England, which Kent is called, I don't know why it's called the Garden of England. There are some areas which are quite pretty, I guess, but where I was born certainly isn't a part of the Garden of England because it is a concrete shithole.
Nice.
Known as Chatham,
Isn't
which I'm pretty
Dover
sure
in
where the
Kent?
word
Dover's in Kent.
Dover is in Kent,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
but
definitely isn't very gardeny either.
no, it's not. It's quite industrial, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Back.
Unbelievable.
What do you do? Just sling it in the oven?
No.
Kitchen's
So
right
this-
next door,
No, no.
apparently.
So this morning I made the sauce this morning, and I
Mhm.
cooked it for put it on the stove, cooked it for half an hour. Then what I do is I cook in a big iron pot, and then I cook it for like about half an hour, 20 minutes to half an hour, whatever it might be. So it's boiling, bubbling away, and then I take it off the heat, and then I wrap it in towels. So it just basically just slows down the cooking really
So
slowly.
did you
but
learn this from
but it-
fixing your Xbox 360?
the old towel trick, yeah. And so I cooked the sauce ages ago. Then I made the lasagna about 2 hours ago, 3 hours
You
ago. put
made
it all
lasagna?
together.
Like you made the
Yes.
pasta from scratch, did you?
No,
Oh.
did not do that. No.
I do something similar when I make lasagna. I pre-make it the night before.
I do something similar. I buy a jar of ragu. from the shop.
Ew.
Ugh, heresy. That is.
It's not ragu,
No.
actually. To be fair, technically, it's not ragu. It's Tesco's.
I adopt a similar method for Ace. I think it always tastes nicer once the flavors have got to know each other for a long time.
Yeah, I ideally would have done it. I try and do it as far ahead as time as I can when I do the sauces or anything like that.
I find
you-
we always make a lasagna, make it, and then let it cool down, and then reheat it, and that's how it's the best. You have to have reheated lasagna.
Do you make your own bechamel?
No, I have done. I know
No.
I have done, and I didn't this
What's
time.
bechamel? Is it just white sauce?
Bechamel is
Same as
white sauce. Yeah,
It's just the same as white sauce. Like, you don't do
No.
anything fancy to it. Don't put any cheese in it.
it's different.
What's
It's
different?
different.
Put garlic in it. Or something.
It's no. It's just not as nice when it comes out of a jar. I don't know how to explain it.
No. I mean, what's the
probably got
difference
something to
between
do with
just like,
preservatives.
like your what was it? It's called a roux, isn't it? Like your butter and flour and all that. That's a roux.
Yeah, so that's a roux, and then,
And then you add
when
your
you add
milk.
milk, that makes it a bechamel.
That's it, is it?
And then
Yeah, I've made one of them before.
you
Made plenty of them
add
before.
stuff to it.
A bit of
You add
salt
stuff
and
to it,
pepper.
so salt, pepper, bit of grated nutmeg.
Ooh, fancy.
I like Parmesan in mine. Well, Parmigiano.
Oof, we're getting full on Italiano here.
Yeah. And that is just absolute. Oh,
Sounds good.
I want a bloody lasagna now. Cheers, Grace.
No, I cooked a big one, so.
Bring
Yeah,
some
so
with you,
that's
will
got
ya?
in there.
In a
Oh,
few
yeah,
weeks.
and that reminds me actually. So when my dad came over to visit a few weeks ago, I asked him to bring some Coleman's mustard. I like my Coleman's mustard. And he turned up and he said, "Here, I brought you Coleman's mustard," and he gave me a couple of jars. He goes, "But I also want you to try this," and it was Tesco English mustard.
All
And I
right.
was like, "What? You dollar store
It's not a dollar
dirty
store. It's a fucking major
digging-
supermarket. It's the biggest
digging-
supermarket in the country, mate.
Yeah, but it's Tesco brand." I was like,
Alright.
I admit to
How was it then?
briefly turn. Well, Neil, if you let me finish, don't get so offended.
I'm not getting offended.
I did turn, I turned my nose up at it a little bit, but I'm telling you what, it's good. That English mustard from Tesco brand is good.
So I had
I am-
some Tesco Dijon mustard the other week, and that fucking blew my head off, mate. I was like, I think I put a bit too much in here. I can't eat it. It's so fucking hot.
Oh yeah, this one's
Yeah.
quite. It's almost like it's got a horseradishy type kick to
Mm.
it. Very nice, yeah.
I'm not a major
Yeah.
fan of mustard. So, but the thing is with all those other mustards is you can't buy the powder. Don't you get the powder? Coleman's powder. Then it lasts
I have
fucking
some
ages.
Coleman's powder. Yeah, I have some Coleman's
Well,
powder.
if you
here,
buy
but
actual mustard, it only lasts about 6 weeks when you have to throw it in the bin.
no, you don't.
You're supposed
I
to.
keep mustard. What, you can follow the instructions on there that says "throw me out after 6 months." I've got mustard in there from about 8 years ago. I'll still dig into.
Marketing strategy. That's what that. I was gonna hang on 2 seconds. Tinfoil hat is going on right now. Here we go.
Excellent.
Marketing strategies. I'm
I'm
telling you.
slightly
but-
disappointed you didn't have an actual tinfoil hat to put on there.
No, I don't want to crinkle my lovely hair that I've got going on here. It's got to be marketing strategy, hasn't it? Like
Well,
they
they
always
have to
say,
put it
oh,
date
Apart from
on.
the fact where they say that they have all these tests that things go bad. And
Some
what
stuff
happens.
does go bad,
You know,
right?
like
If you
you have use by dates on things,
correct,
Right.
yeah.
right?
Then
And if
I'm
it
gonna
says
get into
use by, you have to fucking use it by then. Otherwise, the biological fucking whatever
You don't
starts
have to
fucking
fucking
break down.
do anything.
Well, you
mate.
could risk eating it after then, but there probably will be some fucking dodgy shit going on in there by then.
We don't have use by dates here. We just
Here
have
we go.
just before.
Yellow mustard contains a high ratio of vinegar, which is a preservative,
It's not 100%
unlikely to spoil.
because then it would be vinegar.
It has a high percentage of vinegar.
Anyway, the Tim Reaper. I'm going
Yeah.
to England.
I'm
Anybody else going
I'm
on
going to
holiday?
England too.
Arnie will be going on honeymoon.
I am going on. So I've got a holiday next week, which is my stag do.
That
Going
is
to
not a
Prague.
holiday. I've had a stag do, and they are fucking not holidays, dude.
Oh, I went to Benidorm a few weeks ago on another stag do for my mate, and that wasn't a holiday either. I was up for 40 hours on the first day. I won't be doing that on my one. I've already
Oh,
said
yeah?
that to everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
Good luck with
then
that. Good luck. How many
um,
blokes have you got going with you?
25.
Oof.
25 blokes. Yeah, you tell them that you're not going to have it. And it's your stag do. You tell
Yeah,
them, guys,
well,
I'm just going to grab an early night.
No, I'm not going to have an early night. I'm just not going to be up for 40 hours. That's so dumb. So the reason I was up for 40 hours is the best man thought, oh, let's get the stupidest, earliest flight we possibly can get. I worked late the previous night. I helped my mum plumb in a washing machine. I got home. I still needed to pack. And I thought, I'm not going to sleep for 2 hours. There's no point. So I just powered through. That's
was
why
your
I ended
fault
up
then?
being 40 hours.
Oh,
But this one, I said to my best man, I went, look, I'm 30 now. I want to leave at a respectable time. So our flight's at midday, which I'm really happy about. So it means it won't happen. I'll stay out to whatever time. I won't be the first one to go back by any means, but yeah, I'll stay out.
where are you going again? Did you say?
Prague.
Okay.
And then I've got Croatia for the honeymoon. Me and Maze have got this absolutely stunning villa just to ourselves for eight nights. But we're staying close enough to Venice, so we're going to venture into Venice for a day. And then, so absolute jet set of myself. We're going to New York in December. It's a Christmas present I got for Maze a few years ago, but we never got to go because of COVID. And I think 3 or 4 days before Christmas, we're going up to Canada and having Christmas in Canada.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that before.
Mm.
Nice.
Well, you know the door's open here if you swing by.
I've already told Maze.
Are you coming by?
Absolutely, yeah.
Sweet. All right, good. We'll start preparing. Get one of the kids to start clearing their bedrooms.
You can sleep in the basement.
You probably will.
It doesn't
be
do
sleeping in
anything
the
else there.
basement.
I think me and May said we was going to get a hotel anyway.
We'll work it out.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Good.
Devon. That's exciting.
When's that?
Late July, and then we might. What are we doing? Oh, we're going to do a. It's not Haven, I don't think, but it's like a caravan thing somewhere. Can't remember which one it is. For a couple of nights in a weekend, at August bank holiday. So I'll be grumpy, you know, because it's
Why?
because it'll probably be boiling hot, and I won't be like I'll be sweating my nuts off. And there won't be any aircon or anything like that you get when you go to a nice place. So.
Come to
We're in a
Canada,
fucking
mate.
caravan. No.
Nah, mate.
Not fucking doing it.
What the fuck want to go there for?
Can I drive to Canada? Probably not.
Just get on a plane.
You might get a little bit soggy if you did.
Yeah.
Have you been on a plane before?
Yes, I've been on planes before. I don't really fucking like being on a plane, though, I have to say.
I don't really like being on a plane, to be fair.
I don't like it because I don't really fit into the seats that well.
I don't like it when they start shaking. That's the thing I don't like about them.
You don't like that when you look out the window and you see the wings flexing.
I don't
up and
mind the
down
wings
by
flexing
10
because I understand how they work. So I know they're supposed to do that. If I looked out the window and there wasn't a wing there, I would be a lot more concerned.
You should
But-
be.
Yeah, that sounds like a bad thing. But wings moving up and down, that's fine. When they start to feel like you're just like, you know, when you go to the amusement park, whatever they fucking called, theme park, and it drops you like that. That's what I don't like.
Yeah, like being on a
So
plane.
Yeah.
when I
exactly.
was about 15, we went to Florida and we had a similar experience. We hit a pocket of turbulence and the plane must have dropped about 20 feet, just instantaneously went whoom, and everything just went upwards.
Yeah.
I was wearing my seatbelt anyway because they recommend you wear your seatbelt, but some people left their seats and yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah,
It's
it can slam
terrifying.
people up into the ceiling, right? That's
Yeah.
really fucks people up. I always have my seatbelt on. There's something I quite like the comfort of having the seatbelt on when I'm in the.
Knowing the fact that even if it does drop, you won't have your face planting into the ceiling of the plane.
There is that, yeah, that's added. But I feel it's like someone's hugging me for the whole
Ah.
journey.
Just around your lap.
You should make them hand shaped, the little clasps.
You should.
What, when there were fingers
They'd probably
interlocked like
be
that?
incredibly creepy looking, though. So
It would be, wouldn't it?
It'd be
And
something
it'd be
like
the
out
size of a
horror
child's
film.
hand as well.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be well wrong, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because it's not going to be like a man-shaped hand the size of your head, is it? Oh, yeah, it'd be like a cummerbund, wouldn't it, instead of a belt?
All right. Okay. Thanks to Tim Reaper for that. Appreciate it. Lord says, oh, hang on a second. Evening, guys. Another exciting quiz this week. Congrats to Neil for the Fantasy League win, he says. Winner, winner.
Chicken dinner.
Okay, let's run through these quiz questions then. I can't remember. Are we playing as a team or are we playing as individuals?
I don't
Let's
fucking.
play
It
as-
just changes every week.
Yeah. Okay, question number 1. In what country would you find Mount Kilimanjaro?
Oh, I actually know this, so I'm going to go last then,
Okay.
if that's all right.
Isn't it Fiji? I don't know. I'm
Fiji.
making that up.
I don't think it's Fiji. Isn't it in the Himalayas or something?
Arnie's going to tell us in a second.
I'm looking. He's not
We're
giving
playing-
anything away there.
We're playing as a
He's got his
team. Come
poker
on then,
face
Arnie.
on. He's got his poker
Are we
face
playing
on.
as a team, are we?
Let's play
Is
as
that
a
what
team.
it is? You sure?
Well, you
Alright,
can. You say you know it, so we're gonna.
I'm 95% sure it's Tanzania because
What?
Tanzania. I'm pretty sure it is.
Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, Kilimanjaro. Yeah,
Where's Tanzania? Where's that?
Africa,
Is it?
All right.
isn't it?
Oh, there's the doubt creeping in
Ooh.
now.
Yeah.
Yes, excellent.
I'm
Yeah.
so a few years ago we had a lady who worked with us who worked for the design team, and they done a sponsored mountain climb.
That's
And
what everyone does their mountain climbs because it's like a fake
95%
mountain.
sure. I'm 95% sure it's Tanzania.
Yeah. Oh well, we've had Hardy Dan's in the chat, and as we all know, Dan knows everything. He says yeah. So
Okay, cool.
He's confirming it's Tanzania.
apparently so.
All right, thanks, Dan. Second question: what company was initially known as Blue Ribbon Sports?
Wow.
No.
What company was initially known as Blue Ribbon Sports?
Mm.
What about Sega? It kind of looks like a blue ribbon logo,
Sports
doesn't it?
though? Well, so,
Oh,
I would
sports,
have a
maybe
crack.
not.
You know what? I would have a crack on this. I would say Adidas. It's like they
You
have those
reckon?
ribbons, right?
Mm.
Stripes.
Yeah. Maybe it's nothing to do with sports. Who
I saw a
knows?
guy. So just by what I remember, I can't remember where I was walking. I was walking somewhere recently, and I saw a guy. Oh yeah, I was in the park with the dog, and this guy walked past me, and he had black tracksuit bottoms on with the 3 Adidas white stripes going down. He had the black jacket on with the 3 white stripes coming all the way down. He had the black cap on with 3 white stripes, and he had the black shoes on with the 3 white stripes. He basically was Mr. Adidas.
I hope you checked his socks.
I didn't go anywhere near him because he walked past me just muttering, talking to himself, like waving his hands or whatever. So
No,
Mr.
we're going
Adidas,
back.
Was he saying
We're
I
going
should
back
have
to
bought,
the
I should
old
have bought
Nutter
fucking
thing.
Nike? I should have bought Nike. I should have bought Nike. I should have bought Nike.
Yes, perfect. Anyone else?
Oh, I don't know. For some reason, I want to say Kraft.
Kraft.
Kraft, as in the food company.
Oh, Kraft.
I'm going to go
No,
Wasix,
Kraft
then.
with an R.
Kraft with an R. Arnie?
Oh,
Or
Oh,
Matt?
A6 or
Sorry, I'm going to
Wasix?
call you Arnie. I'm going to try and call
That's
you
fine.
Matt, but
I'm just going to guess like a Wasix or whatever, however you pronounce it.
oh, A6?
That's how I
A6,
say it.
yeah.
See, but there's no R's in that one. R6.
Ray6.
R6.
Question number 3. Which country features a shipwreck on its national flag?
I need to call my son in because he knows all the flags.
All of them?
Do you reckon it's Somalia after the pirate comment the other week? That was a Lord comment.
I know in Greece there's a shipwreck island, but I can't imagine they'd have a
I
separate
think
flag
it's
just for that
probably-
particular island.
I don't know why. I feel like it's a Caribbean place.
St. Kitts and Nevis?
That'll do. Trinidad and Tobago, one of those.
No,
Could
it's
be
not
anything.
Trinidad.
Salt and vinegar?
It could be like an overseas territory from like France or Spain or
Yeah,
England, right?
Papua New Guinea or something. I don't think it's that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anyway, I go St. Kitts. Anyone? What's your answers? Trinidad and Tobago?
Mm.
Trinidad and Tabasco?
Yeah, that'll do.
Arnie?
I'm completely drawing a blank here. Chile. I know there isn't one on there. I just don't know.
Chile.
Chile?
Chile. Yeah, that's how they
mean-
pronounce it, isn't it?
Not here. It isn't. Chile. It's
Chile.
No, I think
Yeah, a bit of chili
I've
here.
definitely heard it called Chile by some people. People
Okay.
who might actually
Chileans,
want to do it
probably.
properly.
Yeah, I've heard it called Chile by some people. He's here. All right, who's got
Shall I
answers?
do the answers then? So,
Yes, please.
in what country would you find Kilimanjaro? The answer is Tanzania.
Nice.
Darling. What company was initially known as Blue Ribbon Sports? The answer is it's fucking Nike. Bollocks.
Oh.
Did I say Nike? And then
No, you
No,
said the
it's
guy
not.
should be muttering about he should have
Yeah.
bought Nike. You should have guessed
Yeah.
Nike. I should have guessed Nike.
Yeah, exactly. I said it, but I didn't say it.
Or is it Nike?
Depends how much of a twat you are. I've definitely called it Nike in the past. Which country features a shipwreck on its national flag? The answer is it's fucking Bermuda. Bollocks. I said it was the Caribbean.
I'm guessing because of the Bermuda Triangle.
Not a million miles. Oh,
We were close.
yeah. Yeah, it could be maybe. Nice. All right, thank you very much, Lord. That is much appreciated. That was cool. He says, "Have a great week." Likewise, mate. Have
Yes,
a great
mate. Thank
weekend,
you.
and we'll. Oh my God, this alarm keeps going off. Maybe I should press stop instead of snooze.
Maybe.
Friend of the show, Mark MS Ranger says, "Evening SEAL team, would you rather live a long but poor life or live a short but extremely wealthy life?"
How poor?
Yeah, that's exactly my question. How poor are we talking here? Are we talking poor like poor,
Poor
how
like
I am
now?
now? Now poor?
That'd be fine.
Or slums poor. And how rich are we talking? Are we talking
Yeah.
Are we talking
Jeff
like
Bezos wealth?
Are we talking like Western civilization rich like we are now?
Yeah, it's a difficult one, that, isn't it?
It's all relevant, isn't it? I'd probably take long
all
but
relative
poor
as well.
if it was not too poor.
Yeah, it'd have to be pretty
I'm
poor
the same.
to like not be worth it. I mean, if you started poor, you could get rich though, right? Can you?
Yeah, or die trying.
Oh yeah, there is that.
Oh, 50 Cent.
That would be.
He is definitely not 50 Cent anymore.
I know I hadn't heard from him for a while. Not since the old Super Bowl thing that happened.
What was that?
Oh, they had all the old fogies on there, didn't they?
And he wasn't included.
Dr.
was he?
Dre.
Oh, no, he was
there.
included.
50
yeah.
was there.
Yeah,
And
he
what's
was.
her
Yeah,
name?
he was.
I can't remember what her fucking name is.
Mr. Cent
Mary J.
to you.
All the old
Snoop,
fogies.
was Snoop there?
Yeah,
Snoop
all
was
the
there
old
as well, right?
fogies.
Yeah.
So what did 50 do? Did he act out of turn?
No,
No, he was just
they were
as the
on the
last thing he
Super
really
Bowl
done.
halftime show, weren't they? All the old fogies.
I don't know.
They're all
Okay.
fucking old now, aren't they?
Yeah, no, sorry. I thought you implied that he'd done something that would, so he dropped out of public eye.
Well, I haven't seen him since then, is what I said.
No,
I haven't
he's
seen
not
much of any
called
of them
you.
since then. Because obviously he's not doing a fucking Just Eat adverts. Like,
I ain't seen him
well, I
since
haven't
then.
seen Snoop doing them either lately. So.
Maybe you'll bump into him around the local spa.
Yeah, maybe.
Mm.
Maybe.
Me and Maisie went to see him do a show a couple of years ago, actually.
50.
Oh, yeah?
Wembley. Hmm.
Do you remember
Did he?
when he did Reading years
did
ago,
he?
and everyone
At the
booed and
festival?
threw bottles at him?
I hope
yeah.
for providing bottles of urine at him. Because that's
That's
traditional
right.
festival experience.
That was, I think, what he got. I think he got the traditional festival welcome.
It's not Lucasade, mate. Shh.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
Reading Festival 2004.
Mate, that's a long time ago.
Mark says, "Why do cats have 9 lives?"
Because they're
I don't
wankers.
really. Okay. Why is it called the first birthday when it is the second?
Right. Where do we start with this? If you want to get technical like that, then you've only ever had one birthday. You can't have more than one birthday.
Oh, Mark, you're getting told now. Sorry, dude.
If you want to go down that road, that's where you go. It's like, no.
He is losing patience with you, Mark. Can you hear it? It's in his voice. He ain't having it tonight. He needs to loosen up. Is that your first pint?
No.
How
The
many
thing
do you
is,
get
you're
going?
so used to it now. The threshold for loosening up is just crept up, now,
Yeah.
hasn't it? So,
It's not 1 pint, is it? When you need
It's
a couple
definitely not
to
one
really...
pint these days.
No.
Might be in a few weeks' time, though. You never know.
They do Jaeger bombs at the bar at the wedding
Oh,
now.
fucking hell. I ain't getting a train home that night, that's for sure.
I'm going to make sure you get back to your hotel safe.
I don't trust you.
Thanks, Mark. It was good to hear from you. He says thank you and good night.
Have you not
Yes,
got any
mate.
answers then for the whole birthday business?
Oh, who, me?
Yeah.
No, you handle that. That's all right.
You agreeing with me? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Mark's beating me down. He's beating me into submission on these. You're gonna take up the. You can take it and run with it. That's fine.
Okay.
Whereas this is a team. You know.
It's the first anniversary of your date of birth, isn't it? I guess.
Yes.
Is what they are. So they're all anniversaries of your birth date. If you want
That's
to be
right.
technical about it.
Yeah. The fact we have to explain this is terrible. All right, thank you, Mark. It's good to hear from you, mate. What have we been doing then? Shall we move on to that?
Guess that's what we normally do. Unless you want to
Keep
start
going along.
mixing it up a bit.
No, I don't want to mix it up. Okay. Neil, do you want to start?
Okay, well, I watched John Wick. I don't know. Wasn't as good as I remembered. I watched the first one. But
Why is it with John Wick at the moment? Everybody keeps watching John Wick.
well, I don't know. I wanted a film to watch, and everyone had seen loads of other films. I was going to watch Super Mario Brothers on Skybox, but it was 16 quid. I was like, fuck that.
What?
To rent it.
That's oh no.
Yeah, that was too much for me. Too rich for my blood. I'm living a long,
Yep.
poor life, hopefully.
with no Mario
Yeah.
movie.
So we watched John Wick because that was included in our fucking £100 a month subscription.
Sorry, £100 a month for
Near
what?
enough. Sky with loads of stuff, sports and movies and all that bollocks.
Does the Skybox tickle your undercarriage for that price as
No,
well?
It should,
it does
shouldn't it?
allow me to watch in multiple multiple rooms and have it in Ultra HD and all that shit. Does include Netflix though.
It sounds like you're opting in for the long poor life, mate. Like paying
Yeah,
that each
indeed.
month.
Because increasing my monthly outgoings.
I think you could have a short, or you could have a long, extremely well. I don't know. How
I don't know about
extreme,
extremely
okay.
wealthy. No, you see my wages. No.
£500 a year.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
it's
he's
crazy,
got to be
isn't it?
doing all right.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
that's a lot of
Well-
Tesco mustard you must be shifting.
My wife's upstairs. I can hear she's watching 24. That's on Disney Plus, which is not
Brilliant.
included.
Are you paying for that then?
No, I get that on the club card vouchers, so basically it's free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you know, I don't know. It was good. It was all right, but it just wasn't as good as the first time I watched it. First time I watched it, it's like, oh, this is so badass, it's so good, and then it was a bit like, yeah, I've seen it all before. She kills loads of people.
Yeah, right. You know, it does what you know.
Apparently, he does that in the next 3 films as well. So maybe I just won't bother with the others. My wife was like, should we watch John Wick 2? And I was a bit like, nah. Unless someone wants to tell me it's loads better than the first one. But don't know.
No.
Isn't the point of the John Wick films just brainless violence anyway, just for enjoyment?
Oh, yeah, a bit.
Nothing wrong with it.
No, I'm not
I feel
complaining.
like if you watch one, you could probably wait a few weeks
I
before you
like
watch
that
the next
Nobody
one.
film with, what's his name? Better
Yeah,
Call
that's
Saul
good.
in it. That was good. And that's because he's like, he doesn't look like the sort of person who's going to kick the shit out of fucking hundreds of people. But he does. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a bit weird, but whatever. And watched what's new to UK TV, which has been available in the States for a while, at least, called Poker Face. I can't remember what it's on in America. It's on Sky over here, so it's included with my subscription. And it's about a lady who has this bizarre ability to know when people are lying. So she's like, it's a bit
How
like
big's your penis? It's 8 inches. Liar.
Yeah, she just says bullshit most of the time, to be fair.
Well, I used to work with this guy, and you know how we always used to know he was lying?
When he was talking.
When he was talking, a fucking lying cunt all the time. Yeah.
No, so it's good anyway. The first episode is like sort of the origin story. She's working in a casino. And yeah, anyway, I'm not going to talk about the details because, you know, you should go and watch it. It's good. The first 2 are anyway. But yeah, it's a bit like The Littlest Hobo, because what happens in the first one is she upsets some people and she has to go on. She's just fucking legging it from all these, like, the nasty crew. So she goes to a new town, helps some guy, and then has to fuck off to the next town. So I was like, it's like The
Excellent.
Littlest Hobo, but she's like swears a lot. So
So Littlest Hobo, which
and
is
she
like
can talk, obviously, because she's a human being.
Mandalorian, which is that's good. I know. I think that's we all grew up on those sorts of programs, right? Where like the A-Team and all that sort of stuff, where they helped,
Yeah.
a different adventure every week.
Yeah.
It's a good format. It's tried and tested.
Yeah, seems good. So first 2 episodes have been fun. So
Okay.
we'll see.
Who's
how
in the
it goes.
lead?
I can't tell you what her name is. I recognise her. I don't know what she's been. She's got a bit of a husky voice. Can't think what her name is. Yeah, someone says it's a bit like Columbo and Murder, She Wrote. So yeah, a bit like The Littlest Hobo then, really.
Oh, she was in another TV series that I watched, I think. Or am I thinking of somebody else?
I know her from something. I can't tell you what it is. But yeah, she's good anyway. Did you get her name?
Natasha Lyonne.
Leon, that's it. I knew it had a Lee. I was going to say Leanne, but I didn't think that was right.
I thought I'd recognize her from something else, but I think I'm mistaken.
Anyway, it's good so far. I've heard good things
no,
beforehand.
she was. Yeah, Russian Doll. I'd watched her in that before.
I don't know. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I think that's on Netflix.
Yeah, included in my subscription. But,
all right.
Yeah,
that sounds good. Might check that out.
Yeah,
Check it
I can't
out.
think what it's on in the States. I remember it's one of the things I feel like we could get it here, but it wasn't on over here, because I remember thinking, oh, I've got that, and it wasn't on, whatever it was. So anyway, Peacock apparently in the States.
Dan told you that.
No, that was Baron told us that.
Where is it? Canada, Baron. That's what we need to know.
You could get Peacock in Canada, can't you?
I don't think we can.
We've got Peacocks all over the place around here, but not the ones that show TV shows.
Any peahens?
I assume there's a few, because we keep getting Peacocks. So, and then lastly, the reason for me maybe becoming more of a lightweight is I did start doing the Couch to 5K this week.
Oh.
So I've been a bit of a lazy fuck for about the last 25 years, at least.
The last 46 years or whatever.
So I don't know. I was talking we went to watch my son play football last week, and one of the other dads was like, "Yeah, I started doing the Couch to 5K." I'm like, all right. It's like, yeah. He goes, "Yeah, it's all right. It's all right." It's been around a while. So I've now got Steve Cram telling me how great I am for running for 60 seconds and then having a 90-second walk. But I've done 2 runs. My legs were fucking killing me after the second one. Oh, during the second one, I was like, man, my legs fucking hurt every time I run. This is fucking going to be painful. Literally painful. But I did it. I did my 60 seconds every 8 times or whatever, and then fucking done. Or 8 minutes of running, yeah, and in my 30 minutes of exercise. So we'll see. I was supposed to do 3 a week, and after 9 weeks, you're supposed to be able to just run 5K. If you do the plan. So we'll see. Without stopping, obviously, I'm walking. But my route takes me 3.7 kilometers. So I've only got to add a little bit on to where I am. But the one thing I've got to try and plan it, it's quite hilly. It's not mega hilly where I am, but there's where I live, I do my 5-minute walk start, I go up the hill. And then so the rest of the run generally is either flat or downhill. Or maybe there's a little bit of a hill up, but not nothing major. But I get the worst hill out of the way to start with and walk uphill. And yeah, but if I go further, generally I need to go further downhill. So on the last bit, it's going to be uphill, whichever way I go, pretty much. I'm like, don't really know how to do this because there's only a little bit of downhill, really. If I went the other way around and went downhill first, and then there's a lot of uphill to get to the last little bit of downhill. So I'm like, got to start working that route out. But yeah, that's a few weeks away. But yeah, I didn't die. I didn't need an ambulance after the first run, which I was concerned I might do. And the second run, that was proper hard work. But I didn't, which I didn't know if I would. I felt like it was definitely easier the second time. Even though you're supposed to leave a day, but I was like, I've got to go back to work and work nights and all that sort of shit, and trying to work out when I'm going to do a run and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, so I'm supposed to have left today, but I did it 2 days in a row, and I won't be doing it tomorrow. So I've got to try and squeeze one in on Sunday somehow before I go to work all night. So we'll see. Hopefully, got I'll keep at it, and then.
No, you will.
Like I said to Miss, it's only like half an hour. It literally takes half an hour. If you can't do 3 lots of half an hour a week, you need to fucking sort your life out, don't you? Really?
That's right. Yes. Yep. Yeah. And I'm doing my 3 half-hour swims I do every week. I missed 2 of them this week.
Oh dear. So that's me trying to live a little bit longer, maybe by getting a little bit healthier.
You got to do a little bit of something.
Yeah. Well, I worked. Like I hadn't looked before, but I was like, obviously, my job is fairly active, and I looked back through my history on my phone, and it says, because obviously I've always got my phone on me, and it said, on Monday I walked 8 kilometers while at work.
Okay.
So it's like that's quite a lot.
Yeah.
Considering I didn't actually leave anywhere, I was in the same place for that entire time. So
that's about 16,000 steps, isn't it?
Something I don't know how many steps it was. Depends. No, I've got a 64 centimeter stride length according to my phone. Fuck knows how it knows that. But my walking asymmetry was 0, so that's good. It doesn't mean I've got a long leg or a short leg.
You know how it knows that?
Because it measures my steps.
Because it measures your steps over distance. And it knows. It does a quick.
Because it knows from the motion and how far I've travelled.
It goes, but hang on a second. At this point, when he was at his desk, the up and down motion looks like he's done about 8,000 steps here, but he hasn't moved anywhere.
No, there's definitely no way it was 8,000.
He was moving at a pace of like 10 steps per
second. Maybe 8.
Some vigorous motion.
He's done 8 steps.
Absolutely perplexed.
10 steps per second for 30 seconds, and then it's completely stopped.
No, 10 seconds maybe.
The phone basically said, "You're really efficient now."
That's what she said.
Oh, well, good on you for doing that. That's good.
So we'll see. Hopefully I keep it up. And 9 weeks later, you never know. Maybe I'll be doing the London to Brighton like Dan, except I need a bike for that. I'm not running the fucking 54 miles or whatever it is. That's just crazy talk.
You don't want to do that. It's bad enough on a bike.
Oh, I used to like riding my bike around Milton Keynes, but I did 20 miles one week and I literally fucking couldn't stand afterwards. So fair play if you can. That was quite hilly though. So I don't know. Is London to Brighton relatively flat? Is it? Yes, it looks like it should be downhill.
It is not.
Looks like it should be downhill.
No, there is an absolute bastard of a hill, right? You know, there's a. So
is it right
Dan
near the
will
end?
Probably correct.
That's a right
I did it about 20 years ago, so I could just go trying to from memory here, but there was a bastard of a hill that nearly really broke us. We didn't do any preparation. I think we just my preparation with my buddy was to drink till about 3 a.m. the night before.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was not pretty, but we went and did it anyway.
Dan says there are 10 hills and the last one is a bastard.
It is, yeah. Yeah, the other ones don't.
On the map, it looks like it's all downhill. Right, when I look from London to Brighton.
It's going south, so it must be downhill.
Exactly. Right? I found out how high my house is above sea level anyway, because I downloaded the Strava app, obviously, because that's what you do to track your run. And it said we're 113 metres above sea level, apparently. So we'll be all right when the fucking sea levels rise. I'll have a beach just down the road.
Yeah, but I suppose I guess.
London will be fucked, obviously. But
okay, is that all you got?
Yep. That was all I had a little while ago. I don't know if you noticed that.
Has our guest been up to anything you'd like to talk about?
So me and Maze have been watching some TV. Not this last week. She's been in Ibiza. She should be home quite shortly, actually.
Ibiza.
But we was watching a show called From the same makers of Lost. It is a horror show, which I didn't think would tickle Maisie's fancy, but it is a really, interesting concept. It's like this kind of, much like Lost, it's like this little pocket universe. And when you're there, you're in this little village or town. And at night time, you have to remain indoors because there's people who come out of the forest and they look like people, but they're not. The first episode opener is quite shocking. So there's this old woman who comes to this window and starts speaking to this little girl. She's probably about 4 or 5 years old or something. And she's like, "Oh, please open the window. It's really cold outside." And this little girl, being the idiot that she is, she opens the window and the old lady turns into a monster and absolutely eats her face off.
Oof.
Nice.
It's quite brutal.
I'm getting my kids on this.
Well, it definitely teach them to keep the window shut when you want to keep the
Yeah.
heating in. But the premise of it is really interesting, actually. And season 2 should be coming out shortly, which we will start tackling soon.
Where's this on?
Now
Peacock.
TV.
Oh, so
I
it's
believe.
Sky then.
It is on Sky, yeah. I think the first season is on Sky, so you'll be right, Neil, with your £100 mega bundle. But
Is
I
it
would
in Ultra
wholeheartedly
HD?
recommend
That's what I
watching
want to know.
it.
Maybe.
Yes, maybe. It's HD. It's watchable. But yeah, I'd recommend that to anyone. Actually, really good show. It's not your typical drab, boring TV show. It actually does kind of hook you in from the first episode. It is really good.
Ooh.
All right. Okay. I've seen that. Yeah, I recognize the pictures here. I've seen that on one of the streaming services. I think it's on Paramount here.
It is on Paramount in the US, yeah. Because I tried being a bit cheeky. Second season is on Paramount already. Tried using a VPN, but their system obviously recognises people using VPN, so we couldn't end up watching it. Gutted, right? What's the point of having a VPN?
Exactly.
if
That's
you can't use it
the
for
whole
that.
point. That's what they advertise the fucking things for.
Yeah. Well, that and to hide your browsing history, but I don't know why you need
Why
to be
would
so
anyone wanna
secretive
do
about that. Exactly. As for other things going on in our life, we haven't really been able to do all that much because of the lead up to the wedding. So
Have you been
TV shows.
testing out your meals and things like that? I remember doing things like that.
We had been in the pub, but everything we went to do, we knew exactly what we wanted. We were not posh people by any stretch of the imagination. We just wanted something simple. Like hog roast was an option. We was like, that's a bit of us. We don't want a posh sit down meal. We just happily just have a hog roast on a spit, and everyone just enjoys a bit of pork. Yeah.
Oh, is that what you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're not posh people, and I'm me and my family and my mates were all the same, and her family are the same as well. Is that the speeches would be nice, but let's be honest, what do you want to do when you're at a wedding? You want to go to the party, really, don't you?
Other than watch your, people get married. That part.
Yeah, obviously that's the main event. But once that's done,
yeah,
you got the speeches to look forward to. Then everyone is
It's
a little bit
all
hungry,
beers
but they
and
just want to
food.
get it over with. Beers and food. That's it.
and a bit of boogieing. I've been
bit of boogieing.
doing some practice on my dancing. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
mate, you wait until that dance floor's up and running and we all rock in. Oh,
I can't wait to see Mark in his duster.
it's going to be stunning.
Is Duster?
Yeah, we've spoken about this already with Mark. Yeah.
What's that?
I was
his
probably
hat?
drunk.
No, it's like a long leather coat.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to walk in like the Undertaker.
Couple of 12 gauges tucked in the middle.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Entering the Bayou, otherwise known as the dance venue.
It's got a roaming boss nowadays. So, soon.
Okay, anything else?
No, not really. Just TV.
Oh, how'd your car battery go? You told me you needed to replace your car battery.
Oh, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, so
here we go. Here's the juice.
There's no batteries in stock anywhere near me for my particular car, which is not exactly an unknown brand. It's a Ford Focus. You'd think they'd have them, dozens
Everywhere.
and dozens of them.
In Halfords?
Absolutely everywhere, but
You're telling me
Can't
Halfords
find
hasn't
it.
got 'em?
Halfords don't have any. Euro car parts, none. So I've been checking the stock daily.
Bloody
there's still
electric
none in
vehicles,
today.
isn't it? Taking all the batteries.
I don't think they use a 12-volt battery.
Don't rise to it. Don't rise to it.
Oh dear. So yeah, I'm still carless at the moment, unfortunately.
Oh, that's
Oh,
keeping your
mate.
car off the road. Holy
I
smokes!
can't.
Yeah.
It won't. So it's a push to start. So I can't, and it's an automatic. So I can't even bump start it like I used to
You
do
not like
with my
trickle
older
charged
cars.
it? Or was it just properly fucked?
I have charged it. When I say I charged it, I clipped onto it, jumped it, drove around for about 20 minutes. When I pulled back up home, turned it off, turned it on again. I was like, okay, pucker, it's still working. And I thought, oh, I'll do it one more time. Turned it off, turned it on again. Like, brilliant. Right, it's fixed. Brilliant. Gave my mate his jump leads back, and went to start a few days later. The same problem. Went to start. The battery's just gone. Just shat itself, basically.
Probably needs a good fucking charge. Well, you don't
If
do
batteries
like
get too
tiddly
flat,
little
if batteries
journeys,
get
do
too
you?
flat,
Yeah, they're fucked.
no, I do long journeys. Yeah, if batteries get too flat, they get fucked. So
How old's your car?
it's only 6 years old.
Dodge.
Mm.
Yeah.
Batteries
How
go,
much
isn't
is your battery? Do you know how much it would be if you could get one?
£150.
What the fuck happened
cheapest
to
variation
batteries? Like,
possible.
mine was 190 quid or something when I looked at it. I was like,
Mm.
how much?
Yeah,
Fucking
problem
they're
is-
laden with lead, aren't they? And lead's not
Well,
cheap.
and the
I
problem
don't think
is
they
that
are lead anymore.
the problem is the cars now compared to cars 20 years ago. There's so much electric going on in the cars now. It's insane, right?
Well, most of them have
It's
to
the
have
stop-start
start
shit
mechanism.
bullshit. Yeah, that's the thing. It fucking it's like every time. Well, my car's got one, but it doesn't ever fucking. Well, I say my car, the wife's car, the fucking cash car. It says start-stop battery need required, but it never fucking when you put it in, you put the brake on and then you're in traffic jam or whatever. It just keeps running. It never fucking turns itself off as a safe fuel. It's a fucking piece of shit.
Oh, mine's got that feature, but it's never worked. Well, it doesn't work because I have a permanent check engine light, so
Oh.
it disables it.
This is not old. This is quite a recent purchase from you.
What, my car?
Your XF, is it?
Yeah, but I always buy cars that aren't.
That
These are
don't
not
work.
new. These are not new cars. They always have some foibles. Whatever. I'm just used to them. I think I think every car I've ever owned has had a permanent check engine.
I'll tell you,
light
my
anyway.
wife she has a car allowance in her wages, which obviously means she's entitled to a company car, but she's never taken it. So because of the fucking thing with the cash car the other week, where we were sat at the side of the motorway for 3 hours, and then just fucking worked fine afterwards. I said, "Can you see what cars you can get from work?"
Comes back and says cash key.
So she says, no, she says to her company car people, whatever. It's like probably like a 12-month wait for a choose your own car. But these are the ones that are in the pool that you can choose from. I was like, okay. So she says to me, there's a Vauxhall Corsa. I was like, I don't think that's really appropriate. It was 2 Vauxhall Corsas. And then it goes from a Vauxhall Corsa to a Vauxhall Grandland, which is like quite a big SUV from Vauxhall. But it's only got a 1.2 engine. I was a bit like, 1.2 engine. It's quite a big car for a 1.2 engine. And the next car on the list was a Mercedes A-Class AMG A35. And I was like, oh, hello. That sounds quite good. So I looked at them and they're fucking 50 grand brand new. Fucking does like 307 brake horsepower or something stupid. 0 to 60 in about 5 seconds. I was like, yeah, that sounds all right. But I think the tax would be absolutely insane on that thing.
So what? Just get it anyway.
Then there's a Mazda CX-5, which is similar to the Qashqai. But
yeah, we have those here.
They're nice. They look all right, to be fair. It got a good write-up. And the Grandland, despite me thinking it was a bit small engine, the Auto Trader review was the small petrol engine is actually quite good for a car that's so big. I was like, maybe that'll be it. But we'll see. I don't think we'll be getting a brand new car, obviously, for a while.
Get the Merc.
I said to her, I was like, it's 2019. It's like 4 years old already. She was like, I said, don't that make it a bit cheaper? She was like, no, it's all on the brand new price. I was like, that's a bit shit, isn't it? From your car tax and your wages point of view. It's like, surely it makes a difference from like how old the fucking car is. You're not getting a brand new car.
So, yeah, you'd think.
But apparently not.
Mm.
So Arnie froze and has disappeared. He was like, he's suspiciously
a message.
stationary.
He's got a power cut. He just texted me. So
that's annoying.
Yep. Okay, so hopefully he's back soon.
It was a Grandland, Dan. A Grandland was the shittest car name I've ever heard, possibly.
Grand Lan.
Yeah,
LAN.
Grand Land with a D on the end.
Oh, Grand Land.
Yeah, what the
Alright.
fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Okay, well, look, I'll go. I continue to enjoy my pinball evenings. I went again last week. I'm not improving, by the way. Oh, I think Arnie's back.
Hello.
Don't forget to
Hello.
put your camera on. Yeah, so I went pinball tourney last week, which was fun. I can
Tawny?
talk about. Yeah, so every time I go, I pay my money and do a tournament. I think I came, 19th out of 28 or something last week. So I didn't do. I don't know. Anyway, I'm working at it. I'm going again tonight. Tonight should be interesting. Apparently, they've got the tournament on tonight, but it's also being combined with like some celebration of some guy's time in the industry or whatever. So it could be interesting who we meet tonight.
This
That
is
might
just
be
loads of
pretty
other
cool.
old people there. Or-
Loads of people about the same age as me, about as much hair, reliving their youth, and just nerdy, basically. Yeah, peppered with the odd lady or child in there, but mostly it's middle aged to whatever.
Children have like what they call them, like ear defenders on
No,
because
no,
of all
it's
the
not that bad.
noise.
No. So anyway, but I'm still loving that. Yeah, it's great, and I'm looking forward to going again tonight. I played golf yesterday, which I haven't played golf. Well, almost exactly a year ago. It was the same. That was a tournament too. That's a charity tournament. So I did it last year, and I played again this year. Surprisingly okay.
You're
Certainly
like a
held my
natural,
own.
aren't you? You're a natural golfer.
Well, I got lessons when I was young, and so it sort of put me on the right path straight away. And then I played quite a bit when I was after university, playing with my mates when we were all bachelors. We would play quite often, but I don't play much over here. So I can
We
still pick
can't
up a
nowadays because they're all on fire. I was thinking.
There is a bit of fire going on. Yeah, we had all that smoke as well. So yeah, I got out of my house the other day, and it was certainly, I thought like it was fog, but it wasn't. It was the smoke from the forest fires.
So it looks grey at your place, does it?
Well, not today. Today it's blue sky. A few days ago, though, the wind had been blowing in this direction, so it was very hazy, and we were getting air quality warnings. And it smelt like everywhere you went, it smelt like someone was having a bonfire. Which of course, our neighbors were having a bonfire. It just so happens our neighbors, it's Quebec, and I think we've got forest fires now in our province. So yeah,
Hooray!
Canada continues to burn, and we send quite a lot of that smoke down to our friends in New York.
Yeah, it does look somewhat apocalyptic in New York
Yeah.
from the pictures that
there
I've
you
seen.
go.
It's very orange.
Yeah, that was.
Looks like something out of Doom.
They really got hit far more than I did here. So yeah, so that's the thing. Although it did rain today, so hopefully there's been rain in other parts that has sort of
Put some fires out, hopefully.
Hopefully put some fires out. Yeah. But yeah, and so I've been kept busy. My wife's been away this week. Guess where she went?
England?
Oh, New York.
Oh.
Not New York City though. She went down into well, she was supposed to be coming back through New York State, but I think they're avoiding that. Did Boston and Cape Cod and stuff like that. So it's a nice week away she's had. So I've been busy here, keeping the house in order, keeping the children in order, feeding them, doing all that sort of stuff. I've done a very good job.
Mm-hmm.
Made lasagna today, in case you didn't know.
I did hear that. What have you made the rest of the week?
We definitely had
telephone calls.
Taco Tuesday. We had that was good. I think we had we definitely did burgers one night.
Oh, you do surprise me.
I've done some. Have I done? Yeah, I did pasta. I did a sausage pasta thing the other day.
Wagyu Wednesday.
Yeah, I forgot French toast we had for breakfast yesterday.
French toast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, French toast.
French toast, and that was with some thick cut bacon and maple syrup.
Right.
That was a good.
What is French toast exactly?
Eggy bread. Right?
Eggy cinnamony bread.
Yeah.
Oh,
so, yeah, exactly.
Do you require the cinnamon to make it French?
I definitely put the cinnamon in. I used to put nutmeg in, but I can't be bothered anymore.
Oh, because it's so different.
It's hard to grate.
It's a lot
just-
harder to grate
yeah.
fucking cinnamon without it turning into great big chunks.
I don't grate the cinnamon. I have a pack
No.
of.
Powdered.
Yeah, pancakes.
Round.
We did pancakes one morning.
I don't know if I'm
think I
allowed
did
to say
bake-
this, but I'm going to say it anyway. We used to call eggy bread gypsy toast.
Oh yeah,
I don't know why.
don't know. Never
Don't
heard
know what
that
made
before.
it gypsy.
Don't know.
I descend from gypsies and I approve this message.
Do you?
I do. My granddad used to live in a caravan.
No. I mean, yeah.
Do they make eggy bread?
I can't ask him. He died a few years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that. We'll never know. Yeah, so I've been feeding them well. I think I've done okay. A couple of
What do
times
they
I told them
think?
that. All right. You know what? The funny thing was that they were really. The thing about kids is, and anyone who has kids who are teenagers is going to know, like they were all running around. My wife left, and within the first day, they kept telling me how there was no food in the house. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. There's tons of food in the house, right? But of course, it's not the food they want. They want junk food, right? And then this carried on, and I think on Monday I cracked and just like blew a ton of money on cookies and crisps and all sorts of stuff. Oh, we have a visitor. Who's that in the background?
Yes, Maisie. That's all right.
Yeah, no
Sorry?
problem at all. Hi, Maisie.
It's all right, you're blurred.
Yeah, so anyway, I bought him a load of stuff, but I think I've done all right. My wife comes back tomorrow, so we'll be hopefully back to normal, some sort of normality. So
Ooh,
yeah,
getting some food ordered.
Nice.
what are you having?
Kebab wrap. Do you mind if I just say hello to her quickly? Because she just got back.
Yeah, that's good. Cool.
What? Oh my
All
god,
right.
he's got it bad, hasn't he?
So it says the
Captain
person who
Lasagna.
fucked off to do his lasagna earlier.
Yeah, 2 seconds. Oh, bless him. He's still in love. All right, let's move on then to what we've been playing. I'm gonna have to fuck off in a minute to go get my lasagna out the oven. You know that, right?
Absolute joke.
Isn't it? No one's as
Okay,
professional as you
and you
are.
got a timer on your oven. You can just turn itself off after like half an hour.
Dude, I literally just have to walk down the stairs and turn it off. I don't need to put a timer on.
You have to leave the podcast.
I could send a message to my son to go turn the
Yeah,
oven off if
do that.
if this pleases my lord.
Do that. See if it actually happens, or whether you've got burnt lasagna. Dan's asking, how's your retro handheld going?
I haven't touched it. Well, not that I bought one anyway. Did I buy one? No, I didn't buy a retro handheld. I ended up soft modding the DS, but I haven't touched it at all. I may take it with me actually when I travel. I'd like to play some more Minish Cap. So that's all right. You're still in love. You're excused. Yeah, so I
Fraser's
might
going
play
to
some
do his
more.
lasagna shortly, Arnie, so you're off the hook.
I'm in love with my food, so I'm gonna go sort that out. Yeah, so I wouldn't mind playing some Minish Cap maybe while I'm traveling. That would be
I've not
be a
touched
good idea.
my PS Vita since I fucked around with it, sorted it all out. Oh, what I did do the other day was I was flicking through the archive.org, the Internet Archive, and I just clicked on latest uploads, and I was scrolling through, and something said something about SNES, and I clicked on it, and it literally had like 900 SNES games, and so I just downloaded that fucking thing. I was like, 900? Okay, whatever.
Why not? Just put them aside.
So,
you may need them later.
Exactly. So I could install all of those onto my Vita because it was something like, I don't know, like fucking tiny amount of megabytes or whatever in the end. For like
Yeah,
ridiculous
aren't the
amount of
SNES games are like about 6 meg each, right, or something?
I don't know.
Not much more. They're not much more than that. I don't
It
think.
depends. Like some of them are really quite small. Yeah, SNES is old, so yeah, games didn't take up much many megabytes. If you got to a megabyte, maybe it was unusual, but yeah, archive.org is there's lots of things on there, not just video games. Not from an archival kind of preservation point of view. There's fucking tons of really old movies and fucking like 1970s commercials and stuff, all sorts of random shit on there.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see that.
You should have a look at the Internet Archive if you've never been on there. It's fucking tons of fucking stuff, books and all that, all like stuff that's out of copyright and all that sort of shit.
Yeah, in the public domain, right?
Yeah, stuff. It's fucking tons of stuff.
All right.
The SNES cartridges the games used to range between 0.23 and 4 megabytes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there was two games outside of that boundary. It was Tales of Fantasia and Star Ocean. They had file sizes of 6 meg.
Wow.
Well, there you go.
Check this guy out.
Yeah, I was close. Arnie's got the facts. I got the good guesses. Neil's got the
good guesses.
content. Yeah, what a
Have I?
great trio. We don't need
Have I?
Dave back.
Who's gonna do his spiel at the end? We're gonna put get Arnie on that.
Yeah, Arnie can do it. All right, let's move on to what we've been playing then. Neil, do you want to start?
Okay, I've only played 2 games this whole week.
Oh, it's going to be an early finish.
Yes.
Maybe.
Well, probably. I have played a lot of Battlefield 2042. It's been my the first few days of my weekend, my working week is obviously I'm working nights, so I just I can't be asked with getting into anything deep and meaningful. So I just fired up some Battlefield because I was enjoying it last week. So I was just it's the sort of thing you can play for 20 minutes or you can play for 3 hours. And this I have just there's a new season launched. I can't remember this week, whatever day it was. So it's now season 5, and they've announced there's going to be a season 6. So I've paid, inverted commas, for my Battle Pass Premium, 1,000 Battlefield coins. If you complete the Battle Pass, you earn 1,400 Battlefield coins. So that's a pretty good return on if you get that far. And those are fucking cosmetics and all that shit, and unlocks for skins for helicopters and skins for jet aircraft, probably none of which I'll ever use because I have yet to even attempt to fly a helicopter or a plane in this game because I'm I know what will happen. It'll be yeah, I'm in a fucking helicopter. Oh, we've crashed. Or we've been shot down almost immediately. Because I won't know which button are the fucking flares or whatever, or the decoys to fucking prevent us getting shot down. And everyone on the helicopter, if it's a helicopter, will be like, "You fucking noob," and I don't really need that pressure. So I have sat on the side of helicopters and shot big guns at people and things like that. It's fun, fucking all that shit. The Battlefield stuff is now it works. Which is the key thing, which it wasn't really when I first played it. It was a bit fucked up, but it works seemingly 100% of the time now. And apart from when it was actually literally down, like the other day. And look, when you're in and it's working good, and there's no weird shit like lag or anything like that. And I've just been really enjoying that frenetic PvP. I've been playing all the different modes. Conquest is the main game mode that Battlefield's kind of famous for, where you have to capture your points and maintain control of them and that sort of stuff. And the more points you have, I don't really know how it works. It's every time someone dies, obviously you lose tickets, and I think it depends on how many of the territories you are in control of, how many tickets you lose when someone dies and all that sort of shit. You start with some ridiculous large amount of tickets. Matches can go on for fucking ages. So there's that, the conquest mode. There's rush. There's fucking what's the other one? I can't even think now. Breakthrough, which is they're all very similar. You get capture points that you've got to get to. In Breakthrough, there's a team of defenders and a team of attackers. So there'll be 2 points that the defenders have obviously got to defend, and the attackers, if they take both of them, then they push to 2 new points. And if you push eventually right back through to the end of the the original spawn of the defenders, then you win. And if the defenders manage to repel the attackers to a certain degree, then they win somehow. I'm not quite sure. I've definitely won as defenders and attackers in that game mode. That's quite cool. That was Breakthrough, and then Rush is similar, but I can't really remember what the technical difference is. And then there's just limited time game mode of Team Deathmatch, where you're just literally killing everyone. So if you've only got 20 minutes, half an hour, jump into team deathmatch or whatever. Or what I tend to do is jump into team deathmatch, get me juices flowing, and then go.
Yeah,
into the
loosened
other.
up, right?
Loosen up, yeah. Don't really care how many times I die. Chuck a few grenades. I run around as a medic most of the time, and just like, oh, so and so near me has just died. I'll get my defibrillator around, go, and fucking they're back alive again, and then they're dead almost instantly because someone's still shooting us or whatever. But yeah, it's a bit frantic, a bit manic, but now it actually works. There's a new map this week. They brought a new map out, so there's like a playlist of just all the different game modes playing the new map. And they have a thing today called Friday Night Battlefield, where it was team deathmatch on the new map, 32 versus 32, and it's a relatively small map, 32. It's just fucking non-stop, fucking just murdering going on, and it was fun. It was good fun. So I still haven't tried the Hazard Zone, which is like the extraction game mode.
Yeah, you talked about that last week.
Yeah, I still haven't tried that because I've just been jumping in and fucking. There's a bit too much pressure. You're in a squad. I feel like it'd be good to have a squad, like you're actually talking to each other.
Right.
Despite the fact you can ping the enemies and stuff like that in Battlefield, that's just like I'm on mouse and keyboard. So if you press Q and you're pointing at one of the enemy, it will just tag them, mark them for everyone else to see. Even when you've been shot and killed, for about 10 seconds, you can like press Q to like mark the person that killed you.
Really?
And after like the 10 seconds, you still not like bled out. So you've got like another 20 seconds where you can like look around and mark people that are running around like the enemy.
It's pretty game breaking, isn't it?
No, because no one pays any attention to it. So.
Oh.
But yeah, it's so fucking frantic that it's very difficult. Like you've got your mini map in the bottom left hand corner, and trying to keep an eye on what's going on in front of you, obviously, which is pretty manic, and then keeping an eye on the mini map for any red markers that pop up and working out where they are in relation to you. Maybe it's quite good at telling you they're higher than you or lower than you and stuff like that, depending on what map you're on and stuff like that. So I've just been having a lot of fun playing that in the last week or so. But
all right.
I don't know what else to say other than it'd be nice if someone else would play. It's on Game Pass.
I feel that way. I feel that way a lot.
I've got it on PlayStation Plus. Claimed out the other month, and I've got it on it. So I've got it on Xbox. I've got it on PlayStation. I've got it on PC because it's on EA Play or whatever.
Right. Okay.
Included in your Game Pass Ultimate.
Maybe we should
check it out.
All right. Do you want to do your next game, or do you want to switch over?
No, you can switch it up.
Arnie, got anything you want to talk about? Any games you've been playing?
I think everyone knows my favourite game that I tend to play quite a lot. It doesn't get spoken about much on the pod anymore, apart from the fleeting passing moment where Fraser goes, "I would like to play it again," but then doesn't really mean it. Valorant. And
now, hang on a second. I'm going to just address this. So we had a game this week. And Valorant is tough, and I enjoy when it's going well. The problem is because I don't play regularly, it can be tough. And actually, saying that when we play the old maps, I find that's okay. When we played the new maps that I have no idea where we are, what we're doing, that was just brutal, right? Especially when you're playing irregularly. But you're hardcore, way hard. More hardcore.
I managed to reach Diamond again this episode, which I'm really happy with. It was quite a struggle, quite a battle to get up to the upper echelons again, but did break it. And I think because another friend that we play with, Jay, he's always been really good at the game, but he doesn't play it enough. He reached plat this season, and that's really inspired him to want to focus on grinding out his ranks. So it looks like I'm going to have a duo for the next episode, which is good because I need someone of Jay's caliber, and I think Jordan's going to come back into the fold as well. And
look at Neil smiling there, eh? He doesn't need.
What's he smiling about?
He doesn't because
he knows
of
Jay's caliber. I was like, I'm not saying anything.
Because he knows it alludes to the fact that we're scrubs.
Yeah, but I like playing with you guys. I'd play unrated with you all the time if you guys
I
played, but you
I
just
installed
don't.
it the other week when you was all playing Valorant. I installed it.
Mhm.
I had I don't know how many games. I was a bit drunk. That's why I installed it. And then I just uninstalled it again because I was so bad at it. I was just like, I can't play this game. I'm so bad.
If you're
I think
drunk, that's not good.
I think because it's been out for a while now, and there's enough players who play it consistently. There's no more learning really to be had from people who play it regularly. Obviously, there's a bit of wiggle room for people who like yourself, Ray, who don't play it often. So when you play the new maps, you feel a little bit lost. But everyone else we get match made with, they live and breathe it. So it's always
Oh
going to
yeah.
be really difficult.
Come on, look. When we were playing, when did we start playing with you? PUBG days, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And then
PUBG
so
days. Yeah.
we were there for the whole Valorant experience, and I mean, we
Mm.
played that for over a year non-stop. It's like we
Yeah.
do with Hunt, right? We're on board, we play. We're either in or we're not.
Yeah.
And Valorant, we were all in for a long time, and I loved it. We all loved it. So don't get me wrong, I have a lot of love for the game. I think there is an element there is an issue, I think, when we play with you and Jay and Jord and Josh or whoever it may be of these guys who bring us up into, like, because you guys play at a much higher level, I would say you bring a level of competition which
Yeah, the
can be
aggregate MMR goes up, doesn't it?
can be a bit of a struggle. But at the same time, we play as a unit. When we do play as a team, we know what we're doing, and we get that sort of a nice advantage that we do play well together. So
I've always said, like, I'd rather. So when I play with you guys, I'm happier playing with you than some randos because they don't communicate. They don't do what they're meant to do, like their jobs. As you know, there's roles in Valorant where you've got duelists, you've got controllers, initiators. But you guys, you always commit to your roles and you do them well. And I'd much rather that because what you do is it enables the fraggers to go in and, well, frag out.
yeah,
Which is what you need. But people have egos on the internet. I'm not sure if you've ever noticed that. And
I'm somewhat aware of it.
yeah. But I think I'm just going to take a word out of your vocabulary. Valorant is Valorant. It'll probably stay with me for a long time. I really love it.
Yeah.
I
mean, what they do well, right? So what's the state? So would you say the state of the game right now is still great?
No, I think so. Smurfing problem
They've
is
just
really
had
prevalent at the
a
moment.
bit of an update, haven't we? With a little buffs
They
and
have.
nerfs going on.
Yeah, it's kind of broken my game a little bit. And it's not a keyboard issue because I've tested the keyboard and it's fine. But the microphone, it's hot micing for me. It's assuming I'm doing the push to talk when I'm not. When I tried using Sage's walls, it's like macro quickness of rapidly pressing Q. But it's not a keyboard problem because I type on it every day for work and it's not typing millions of Qs out when I'm typing. All the times I type Q in a day, obviously. But yeah, loads of people are complaining about frame drops. I'm getting some jitters and yeah, I think they'll probably do a hot fix or a hot patch or whatever they call it. It's hot fix, right? Hopefully that comes sooner rather than later because there's been a few moments where I'm always the first to admit when I've made a mistake, and a few of them have been, that wasn't me, that was definitely the game jittering. But it's good. I love Valorant. I don't see that changing anytime soon. For me though, and I know you guys probably know this about me, and it's the same for you as well. Once I'm into a game, that's the game I'm into. It was Dota for like 7 years, then it was PUBG for like 3 years, and now it's Valorant for on its third consecutive year now.
These games, you have to be though, because well, I think we're all competitive, right? That's the number one thing. You're in it to win it, and the only way, like, you can't casually drop into a lot of these games. Like, it's too tough, and you get demolished.
If you go in as a solo queue, is it a better experience? Maybe if you're not queuing with people who are like, where there's a huge disparity of skill potentially, like we are. If I went in as a solo queue, would it be better because I wouldn't be dragged up with like?
I think
it's a lottery.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a lottery because of the Smurfs. But at the same time, I think there were a lot of times I enjoyed going off particularly when they were, because Valorant had dailies, right? So a lot of the time I would just sneak off and go play on my own to get my dailies done, and I really enjoyed doing that because I found on some of the matches.
Well, you popped off, didn't you? I used to look at your match history when you was playing solo games, and you was always having a good one.
Yeah, and so I would sort of write, I'd be further up in the table because I was probably, match made with people as equally shit as me.
No, so my theory on that is that because when you play in a group, you're playing with a higher rank of players, so it trains you to think at the higher rank. So I don't think your rank should be higher anyway, but you never play it enough to obviously get your true rank. But I think your rank is higher than what you get match made with, and I think that's why you do so well in your matches.
Yeah, and to be fair as well, when we play with you guys, I mean, you guys are going to be the fraggers, right? You're going to be soaking up those kills, whereas we're going to be supporting you a lot of the time. So.
Well, there was that game. What was it? About a month ago, and I got that 6K. And I think you hadn't played in about 4 or 5 weeks.
Well, that was on a new map too, so that was brutal. Yeah, really brutal.
We was getting absolutely demolished, but yeah, that was, and they're the moments I love in the game. Like when there was 5 of us. I think Jay went AFK or something, and you just get. I was the last one alive, and just having the team on your back, just watching what you're doing, and the hype that comes after doing something like that. It's a real sort of endorphin rush, and I love it.
Yeah.
And it's the same when it's not even just your mates; it's just your team members or whatever.
Oh yeah.
You be complete randomers, and you do something insane, and they just hype you up. And
it's generally a positive vibe I get from like the Valorant sort of. Generally, I'm not saying exclusively, but largely,
there's always outliers.
It's quite positive in terms of the people you could tend to meet with. You can immediately mute the fucking twats. Let's put it that way. You can basically ignore them. But there's quite a lot of people who are quite friendly. You would see.
I think my daughter's finally stopped playing. Actually, I need to go look at that. I don't think she's playing anymore, which is interesting. She was all aboard for a long time, but
she off the games now then.
No.
In general.
No. Other things. Okay. That's Valorant?
I do have one more game that I do like to play, and I did stop playing it because I was very angry because a save of mine that I'd spent 25 hours on got bricked. And I couldn't continue. It's a game called Stationeers. Now I know you mentioned before that.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying you lost that save. Yeah, that's brutal.
25 hours, absolutely fuming. But this week, when obviously Maze has been away to Ibiza for the Hindu, started up a new base on a moon of Jupiter called on Europa. Negative 150 degrees. It comes with its own challenges. You've got to try not blow yourself up, build your base, and it's just so when I'm done with Valorant, it's just a really nice chill game where you're just going around building your base, gathering materials and supplies, and you're just trying to survive in a really hostile environment. And you can kill yourself by accident, like I did the other day. So I accidentally allowed my base to get to 160 degrees Celsius plus, and I had a canister of oxygen in there. And I heard creaking. I was like, "Oh, I know what that is. Something's going to go bang." And I look around and looking at all the pipes. I've got my tablet out, which can read the pressures of the pipes. And I was like, nothing's overpressurized. It must be a bug. And next thing I know, and it just says you are dead or something similar. It just goes to like a screen of grey. So you spawn back in, and you look at the carnage that's ensued. My whole base had blown up. And I was like, what the fuck? So I was racking my brain. So I've loaded up an autosave. And then I've done my due diligence, found out it was just a massive oxygen tank that I had situated in that room. That had heated up, so it was basically filled to the brim with oxygen anyway at normal room temperature. But because it had gone up to 160, 170 degrees or whatever it was, the gas inside of the tank had expanded to the point where it's causing stress on the tank, and then that just gave way and went bang and blew. It was like a bomb, basically.
Nice.
But yes. What else do you need to make a big explosion than oxygen expanding and a spark?
Well, it wasn't a fire. An explosion's anything which expels outwards, isn't it?
Yeah, but oxygen.
So
if there was anything
wave.
like anything that might combust, then oxygen would just immediately add fuel to that fire, wouldn't it?
It would. But in the game, you do. So it's a material called volatiles, but for lack of a better term, it's actually just hydrogen. It's a H2, and there's loads of mechanisms in the game where you can make your own water from burning hydrogen and oxygen, but it makes it very hot, obviously, because it's just been on fire. You have to cool that down. You can electrolyze water, so you can separate the elements out into hydrogen and oxygen if you need to. Crafting your own metals as well in a furnace. Some of them are very specific temperatures and pressures that you have to achieve. It's just a thought-provoking in terms of how are you going to do something, not thought-provoking like philosophically or anything like that. It's just a game, but I really enjoy it. I enjoy the challenges, and yeah,
You can set your own challenges, basically, can't you? It's
Yeah,
pretty,
that's
it's pretty sandboxy. So
Yes, you boot in and you could. It's just complete freedom to do what the hell you want. I mean, late game, you can build your own rockets. You have to be relatively decent at coding, so you can do solar tracking on your solar panels. So you can send your rockets and automatically mine stuff from the asteroid belts, and it's just
Didn't
a really cool.
Dave did all that, didn't he? Was it
Well,
Stationeers he did that?
we
Or-
were playing. Sean definitely. We were building this big fucking spaceship with Sean.
Oh, that was it. Was that game? Yeah.
Yeah, and it was
That was
like,
Space Engineers, wasn't it?
that was. Oh, was that? Yeah, that was Space Engineers. Yeah, that was different, wasn't it?
So
I
where's
get
what?
confused though. This looks a little bit like between this and Astroneer. I don't know. Astroneer was a lot more simple, but it's very sandboxy as well. But yeah, it doesn't seem as technical as this.
This game is not forgiving any stretch of the imagination. So the temperature range that your human can survive is between 0 and 50 degrees Celsius. Anything colder than that, you start to take damage. So you have to open your helmet in a breathable atmosphere. If it's not breathable, you damage your lungs. If it's a complete vacuum, that really damages your lungs. But your hunger and your
Completely
thirst
collapses them, potentially.
Well, the game is unforgiving because it doesn't allow you to consume water without. There's no built-in pack to your spacesuit. You have to lift the lid off your helmet to drink physically. Same with food as well. You can't do it with the lid shut, so you have to be quick when you spawn in to build a breathable atmosphere. And on some of the worlds you can go on, like one of them's, it's called Vulcan. It's a made-up planet. It's surrounding a black hole, so the atmosphere is really, I think it's like 600 degrees Celsius plus, with like 200 kPa pressure, which is twice Earth's atmosphere. So you can't just build a base and then fill it with oxygen because it's too hot. You have to think, how am I going to cool this down? You can't unmount your oxygen tank from the space hopper lander thing because that immediately starts to heat up at that point. It becomes uninsulated. It is so unforgiving in the start game. You just have to. It's trial and error. That's what I've done. But once you do things and you think, oh yeah, I fucking cracked that, I sussed it. It's really rewarding. It's a really feel good game because of that. So you accomplish something that was difficult and it feels good because of it.
Yeah. That's good.
And that's Stationeers.
All right. I could be tempted by that actually.
And
Good point.
also to mention, you can do multiplayer as well.
All right. Have to look for it when it's on sale. Okay. Well, I'll jump in with a game then. If is that all you got, Arnie? Is that good?
That's all I've got. Yep, that's absolutely.
Okay.
Cheers, mate.
Oh, we played a bit of poker today, didn't we? There is more. We played the poker, the Discord poker app. Yeah. And it was nice to play poker. The three of us, Matt, Mark, and myself were playing. We had a few rounds, but it wasn't working 100%. It has some issues. So, so I will say this, because I know there's a lot of people out there in the past have enjoyed decent poker games. Because we all have Discord, it's perfect, right? If you have Discord, you have access to this poker
Do you
app.
though?
I think so.
Is this because of the Discord birthday celebrations? Everyone has it. Otherwise, you need to pay for it.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, look, I pressed a button and was able to play it today.
Yeah.
But And it's okay. Like I would say, for the first 10 minutes we were playing was no problem, right? We had some good games, and it was fine. And then it started to act up a bit, and there was some. It was like lags, or people had timers running down on Arnie had a timer running down on his play. I had a timer running down on my play. That it was like the thing didn't know what it was doing. Like it had lost some packets back and forth somewhere. So I don't know what was going on. So it's worth maybe keeping an eye on if you're a poker fan. I think they could, it needs a polish. It needs a little bit of sorting out.
It's good for just a chill and a social, isn't it? That's what I
Yeah,
found
I
earlier.
didn't think the interface was the best. It was a little bit howdy-doody, wasn't it? I mean, it's
Yeah.
got like cards flipping around and dancing and stickers all over the place. But actually, as poker games go, it's certainly not the worst I've played. It was pretty fast-moving. The controls were straightforward. So, I'll keep an eye on it. I could definitely see it be one of those things, right, where we're undecided on what we're going to do, and somebody just, let's have a quick game of poker and we can fire it up. So we may be coming back to that. But my week has been consumed, sirs. I say consumed by one game in particular, and
I wonder what game that is.
And you know what it is, and it is Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. And I have, look, unbelievable. It just, probably the thing that stands out the most from this week is two things. Two things stand out the most from this week, and one of them comes from my son having played the game a lot and walking by when I'm playing it. Is just there is because of these mechanics they've given you to build and to manipulate objects, the amount of stuff you could potentially do is insane. And I know Neil, you've talked about watching massive robot penises
just
and all that
scrolling
stuff.
through Twitter, I just see crazy shit.
Yeah,
I have seen in this game.
I have still seen nothing outside of my living room of this game. I have still kept absolute radio silence. I know nothing of what anyone else does. The only other gameplay I've ever seen is maybe 30 seconds of my son doing something. But he comes and sits down with me and he goes, "Oh, I remember that temple. I had a nightmare with this temple." He goes, "Yeah, you've done the same thing as me here," or, "Oh, you did that really quick," or this, and he's given me a couple of little nudges too, which has been very nice. I got stuck for ages on one puzzle, and I would have still kept at it, but he did give me a little bit like, go that way, Dad, and all he did was just direct me to go that way, and I found what I was looking for. So, So it's just really interesting how many different ways there are. I'm gone back to temples around near the start area, and I think that I'm just crushing these temples because I've developed skills further away that has enabled me to just do things differently. Like I know that I'm getting through some temples quickly. I also know that I'm spending way too much time on other stuff. And there's much simpler ways. But as I'm playing more and more, I'm getting used to the skills that I have at my disposal, and I'm moving around the map quicker. Like Zora's domain, right? There's a massive cliff that they get. Basically, one of them goes, "You need to go see the prince. He's up there." And it's fucking miles away up this massive cliff, and I'm like looking at it, going, "Okay, maybe I should go there." I should go climb over there or whatever. And I'm thinking, what's the best way to go? And then I just go, hang on a second. And you see as well, they've carved out a little bit over there, and you can just walk over and you do your rock thing where you go up through the ascend or whatever it is, right?
I haven't played this game and I know more about it than you.
You know more about it than I do, yeah. So it's just great. But the standout from this week is I sat back and I was like, I think this game sounds bloody amazing. I was like, I think it does. I'm going to put some headphones on. So I went and got my nice headphones and I put them on. Honestly, game changer. Like I was just astounded at what I was hearing, right? And that was more from just like the ambient noise was just which wasn't really being picked up when you're watching it on the TV, even with the surround sound and all that sort of, unless you've really got it cranked and it's nice and quiet. But with the headphones on, the ambient sound is just amazing. And then my son points out, he goes, see the way you're walking, like you're clanking, right? Take that metal shield off. So I took the metal shield off. The clanking's gone, right? There's no, because the shields aren't clanking. It's not clanking against your sword on the back.
I love
just
that.
everything is just mint in this game. And that to me, like there's still parts of me that's playing it and I'm going, and depending on my mood, I'm a little bit like, I think I could be getting a little bit fucking bored of this game, right? And then 2 seconds later, I found something else where that astounds me. But as long as you're in the right frame of mind and playing it, then it's fine. But all the time I am playing it and just like, it's just a marvelous achievement in game design and execution. And Zeldas have always been like that. And it's, we're spoiled. I'm spoiled because I know every few years it's just you're going to get one, and you're sort of like, I don't even have the anticipation of the Zelda game coming. You just know after 30 years of Zelda games, there's always going to be another Zelda game, and they're always brilliant. Anyone can tell me that a Zelda game is crap, and I won't believe it. I think you can argue against it. They're just so well made. So well made. So yeah, so that's been going on. I don't need to talk too much about. Oh yeah, I will talk about it. And slight spoiler, right? But my big thing that I conquered this week was the Lightning Temple. It was just fucking marvelous. It was just marvelous. Like I battled one boss previously the week before, I think it was, and I did him first time round. This was kicking my ass. It was brilliant, right? I was swearing, I was dying and swearing, and my kids were learning new swear words that were being shouted down from upstairs. But that's good, right? I don't need it to be a walkover all the way through. I had to figure out how to take this guy down, figured out how to take him down. Then a new mode of the battle kicked in, and it was just
Sounds
hard.
like a Souls game to me.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, like this took some doing, and in the end, like I was taking the guy. It basically split into two things where you're battling the boss, and then you have to battle the environment that he creates. Right? I won't say much more about that because I don't really want to spoil it because it's pretty cool. But it took me ages to battle him, and then battling the environment was a whole different ball game together, right? And that was just like fast-paced, frenetic. How can I survive this? What can we do? And just it took me most of the evening, I think, or a big chunk of my game playing that evening that I'd set aside to play the game was just focused on fighting this boss. And at the end, and I was swearing, I was getting annoyed, starting to rage a little bit. But I finally just kept going and powered through with tons of like health potions and stuff like that. And just the sense of satisfaction at the end of it was just like that. I finished it and I was like, that was brilliant. That was brilliant, right? And just to feel that from a game is just that's why we play, right? For those moments. So Zelda continues to be absolutely astounding. I don't know if I have a lot in me for tons of exploration, but you never know. You never know. I like I say I don't. I was mainlining it to sort Zora's domain out, and then I just got sidetracked, and I've ended up in somewhere else, which is equally just amazing. So again, you I don't know. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Can't recommend it enough. So yeah, that's good. And I've been playing, I have some more Williams Pinball on the iPad, but
I downloaded Pinball FX on the Steam. The free, well, they're all free, aren't they? The main things.
Yeah.
But I had a 24 hours of.
The pass, right. So you can try a load of tables.
I played a few, and I was like, yes.
Yeah, but we talked about this last week, and you didn't really have the bug. I don't think you've got. I'm fucked, right? I was talking to a guy at the pinball thing on last Friday night after we did the podcast, and I literally was saying to him, guy, I've got it bad. He goes, oh yeah, I know it's bad, isn't it, when you've got it bad? And I was going, I really have. Like, all I think about is pinball. All I watch are pinball videos right now on YouTube, and I'm reading about them and the history and stuff. So yeah, it's great. And now I'm eyeing up buying a machine. I don't know.
Oh
But
dear.
yeah, because this is the perfect time to buy a machine when the prices are the highest they've ever been in history. So we'll see. But that's me done.
I
Yeah, so
have one more.
you've got one more then, Neil. Go on then.
Right, so I mentioned the Souls-like word. So I've been playing a demo of the latest Souls-like that's coming. This is called The Lies of P. Don't know, you may have heard of it. You are Pinocchio, believe it or not.
Oh yeah.
Hence the lies and the P. It's a Timothy Chalamet-looking version of Pinocchio, I would say. It's pretty sexy. It's pretty hot. He's got a metal arm, a bit like a Link in the new Zelda. But yes, it is a Souls-like. I guess the trademark or copyright, whatever you call it, is up on Pinocchio, a bit like Winnie the Pooh, and you can just do what you fucking like with the IP. Because this is bonkers.
Okay.
So yeah, you play as Pinocchio, the puppet, and like I say, you look quite human, other than your fake arm on your left arm. But you fight with swords against other slightly demonic-looking puppets, which may be in states of like snoozing on the ground. When you walk up to them, they get up and they try and fight you. I've been playing with the balanced weapon mode, which is like bit swashbuckly, I guess. It's not like a great big fucking high damage sword. You're playing with like a rapier almost. Not a rapier, because that's like a stabby thing, isn't it? A pokey stick. So it's more of a slashy sword. But the video we're watching is the big fucking meaty sword. So yeah, you're running around this almost Bloodborne-y looking environment.
Yeah.
With a big fucking sword, and you have to kill everything basically before it kills you. And yeah, it's hard when you get to the bosses. The most walking around is pretty fun. You like, and it's got the certainly my favoured version of the control system, where you are using the shoulder buttons to defend and attack. So if you hold LB or L1 on the PlayStation, that is your block or / guard or whatever. And if you time it perfectly, you don't take any damage, and you might stagger the opposition or whatever. But most of the grunts are pretty easy to fight. You can get yourself overwhelmed, as you can in all these games. But there's like the first sort of harder enemy you come across is a bit like introduces more new mechanics. So you'll be like, I don't know, you build up like as you damage an enemy, if they're a strong enemy, then you get them to this phase where they become susceptible to a new attack. And if you use the correct attack, they go into like a stagger mode and you can do a fucking shitload of damage. It runs really fucking nice on my PC, which is really impressive so far compared to a lot of other games I've played recently. Like when you're swinging the camera around, it really is quite smooth gameplay wise. Even more smooth possibly than Dark Souls. It feels more fluid than the Dark Souls games that I played. Even Elden Ring, that had a lot of stuttering problems. This feels really good so far. I'm like, I think I might buy this game, because it's only the demo that I'm playing. I've got to the first proper boss, and he has kicked my ass multiple times. I haven't beaten him yet. But there is this, I think I need to experiment, basically. I've been doing a lot of dodging, trying to do a lot of dodging to get through the enemy, being patient and doing a quick slash here, a quick slash there, gradually grinding them down. But I'm wondering whether if I actually use the guard / block mechanic, maybe I might be able to do a bit more damage that way. I don't know. But yeah, very impressed so far with Liza
It looks
P.
impressive.
It
Yeah.
looks real nice, real nice.
Looks really
I must-
So
polished,
who?
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who's this? Who's this from? This is. Yeah, this is out of nowhere, isn't it?
Weslink, was it or something? I can't remember. Some random fucking companies. All the companies that come up on the screen are like, never heard of them, never heard of them, never heard of them, never.
From NeoWiz Games.
NeoWiz, that's it.
Yeah,
Is the
NeoWiz
publisher.
Games.
NeoWiz is, I think, is the publisher. There's a few other things that come up, and I don't know who they are. There's definitely like when it was. I remember it being first announced, and everyone was a bit like, "What the fuck, Pinocchio, Dark Souls?" But yeah, it's really fucking good. I know, like
Right.
as you go through, I've watched a video, and you meet your maker, as it were, without not in terms of you meet Geppetto. You've got a little flask on your belt which acts as a light, and that's Gemini Cricket, I think. So it's like there's all the characters are in there, but it's just totally like nothing you've ever seen Pinocchio wise in your life.
All right.
But yeah, it's really actually extremely good so far from what I've seen.
Yeah, interesting.
It's 50 quid on Steam, full price pre-purchase. It comes out in September. But yeah,
You
I don't know
have
how
your
much
eye
there
on.
is of the demo. Like I say, once I beat this major boss, I think that might be the end of the demo, but I don't know because of the videos that I've seen is definitely not what I've seen so far in the demo. But it does all that old classic stuff, like you go so far and then you'll unlock a door that you couldn't get to the other side of, and then you're like literally like the other side. It's like a massive shortcut to where you need to get to and all that stuff. And it was all like you are picking up ergo instead of souls, and you spend your ergo at like the spawn point to level up or go to the shop. One single currency for everything in the game. I'm just really, really impressed so far with it. So we'll see when it comes out if it's any good. But so far, impressive demo. If it works, they've got the basics right. So assuming you're just adding more stuff to it, hopefully they can deliver on that and it not be a fucking disaster when it comes out, like every other major AAA release that has come out so far this year.
All right, that's interesting. Good find.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, look.
Demos on everything, by the way, before I say it. So it's on Xbox and PS5 and PC. The demos are on if you want to check it out. Check it out.
You want to what? Oh, check it out. Okay. All right. Well, look. I think that's the last game on the list. I unfortunately have run out of time. I apologize again, but we had a couple of technical difficulties at the start.
And lasagna-based issues.
And lasagna-based problems and lovey-dovey stuff too. Right, Arnie?
Absolutely. She's downstairs waiting for me so I can have a
Of course
chat
she
with her.
is.
She ordered me a
Yeah.
kebab as well. She must love me.
Oh,
Yes.
mate, you got it made. Good woman. Good woman. All right. Well, look, do you want to do Arnie? Do you want to do the exit? Do you have the?
He hasn't
Where is
he
the
hasn't
script?
got it. Oh,
You fucking do it.
fucking do it. Hold on, I just need a drink.
Wet your whistle there, sir.
Okay. So, thank you for listening to the Seal Podcast. I can't remember the rest. If you would like to follow us on Twitter, it's at Seal Podcast. Follow us on Twitch at Seal Podcast. We have videos on YouTube. We upload the show to, and no one else does anything these days. No streams or anything like that other than the show. Maybe someone could pull their finger out and do something else. I don't know.
It's not streaming season.
YouTube is at Seal Podcast as well. We have a Discord that there is the chitter chatter on. You can join that via the pinned tweet on Discord. On Twitter. I'll fucking get there right in a minute. I think that's everything, isn't it? Other than to say, Elusive Man's just popped in to say hi and bye. Hardy Dan's been in the chat, very chatty. A font of knowledge, as per usual. Mark, literally Lethius. Baron von Glower popped in, said Peacock. Lord was there.
Yep.
And Blake Sev subbed with Prime, and Fraser and both subbed with Prime as well. Thank you very much for your support.
Gonna double
Alright.
that revenue, boys.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the spirit. Okay, well, look, let me just say thank you very much, Arnie, for. Let me just start that again. Let me just say thanks very much, Matt, for joining us.
Thank you.
It's nice to see you. And
No,
have
thanks
you
for
on.
having me, guys.
No,
it's always a
that's all-
pleasure.
Yeah, no, it's good, mate. It's good
Indeed.
to see you. Good to have you on. Dave, you're sorely missed as usual. We'll catch up, I think, next week. Hopefully, if you're listening,
Hopefully
everything
the
went
moves will
well.
run smoothly.
Yeah, we should have said that at the start because he's not going to make it to the end. Does anybody ever listen to the end? I mean, like out of us. I do.
I do.
Oh, do you?
Mhm.
Okay, good.
The start, you say?
No,
You
the
obviously
end.
listen to the start because you have to.
I
edit
listen to this. I listen to the start. No, I usually listen most of the way through when I re-listen to the episodes, but I don't think I ever make it right to the end. That's why I'm saying sort of.
Mark's asking, has Dave run off with the $4 of Twitch money?
Dave bought a house with the Twitch money. Did you
That's
know?
how cheap things are in Northampton.
All right. Thank you very much, then, everyone. Appreciate it. And as usual, until next time, have yourselves a good week. We'll see you next week.
See you later. Take care.
See ya.